It's all good.
I'm excited to be here.
We quite like each other, so it's okay.
Well, that helps.
He puts up with me.
I guess I'll ask first. I'm just curious to see your two characters. We just want to know if you can let us in, how far are they going to go to protect their kids from these people that are after them?
I think they'll surprise themselves.
Yeah.
I think that if you'd asked them prior to this event, they would have said, of course, we'll do everything we can for our children. But they will be asked to do things that they never imagined that they would have to do. And I think that you would. I think one would do that. We were just talking about that. It's like, how far would you go? And even in a small way, when you see your kid going through something difficult in real life, we're both parents, and you see your child going through something that's a struggle for them, it kind of breaks you apart,
right.
and therefore you sort of substitute what that feels like in this, and you would do anything. You would put yourself in front of a bus for and you don't question it.
Mm-hmm. It's second nature. And
therefore, because of the series of events that happen within our show happening so fast, they don't even get a chance to question it. At some point they will, but right now, too much is coming at them to be able to talk about how this is affecting them.
That's
I'm gonna shut up now.
Yeah, we both find ourselves able to do things that we never thought we would.
Gotcha.
So I find your two characters really interesting, which is weird because I wouldn't expect to like the two leading characters so much. But could you just take us through their mindset as all this is going on? Because obviously their lives are being completely turned around.
Yeah, I think that's where we start out. Is that's the exciting thing about our parts, is you're kind of getting the audience point of view. We get to sort of be the eyes that the human, normal person is seeing this world and seeing these things for the first time. And it's exciting. It's really kind of fun to be the humans with everyone else as the mutants, and everyone's like, do you wish you guys had superpowers? And we're always like, no, this is actually a good point of view. I don't think many shows like this have that element to it, and getting to be at the center of a story, and we not only have to question decisions that we had made before this and think about what is important and what we should have been fighting for and why we weren't fighting for the right things before. And I think ultimately the hope up there is that in playing a character like this, that you are able to change someone else's mind and see you don't have to stick to one belief. You can acknowledge that you made a mistake and make changes.
Very good.
I was going to say, are both of your characters entirely accepting?
We will question how this came to be, but because everything is coming at us so quick, if I on that phone call with her in the pilot, I went, hang on a minute, whoa, I'm not coming. Well, let's talk about this for a second. The kids will be taken. So by necessity, we are forced into a situation where we have to accept it.
And he has the insider information of knowing what it means. So he knows if he wasn't in that position, we might say, well, we should talk to people and let's see, maybe it's
He knows they're going to be taken
that.
away and they will never be seen again. So the first guttural response is, get the fuck out of here. We've got to get out of Dodge. We've got to get them safe. And so I've talked a little bit about when you have 42 minutes to sort of hook an audience, and some of the conversations that one would want to have just don't have. You don't have the chance to have those conversations, and it's about 9 stories, nine people going through an emotional response to something and dealing with it in the moment. And when you finally get that moment to breathe, you've almost forgotten that you haven't had that conversation yet. So it's all of that will come, and those questions will be raised. But right now, it's about dealing with this crazy new world that they've been flung into.
I feel like your character kind of has to change his mindset maybe the most out of anybody. So can you talk a little bit about kind of, obviously you can't say too much, but what challenges your character might have in this whole thing?
They've been together in this privilege where, you know, he's lived this life and he's started out probably not in any way against mutants necessarily, but he becomes district attorney and then he becomes a prosecutor. And one thing that you will learn within our world is that there was an incident that happened where there was a mutant uprising, and because of that incident where people got hurt, being quite obtuse here, but because of that incident the laws changed, and when those laws changed, anybody who used their power in public were taken off the streets and prosecuted. That's where it comes from. It's the July 15th incident, right? And
I was like listening to you. I'm like, what?
and because of that incident, the law changed. He is, you know, his job is to perform the law. So he thinks he's doing the right thing. He thinks because of this situation he's doing the right thing. His personal beliefs kind of get kicked to the side because, and this it's an interesting question, isn't it? When you are an officiant doing something for, you know, in society, whether it be in California or whether it be in Texas or wherever, your job is to enforce the law. That's what you have to do.
Right.
Do you represent somebody who's innocent when you're guilty, when you know innocent when you know they're guilty? You know, that's the job that this person has to do. Your job is not to interpret the law.
Right.
You're just, and so yeah, he has this huge journey to take and question everything that has come before and everything that he was before. And so for me, it's really exciting in terms of character development to. He's like living everything. Every decision he's made is happening before him. You know, flashback as we're moving forward. Definitely.
I was going to say that must be so exciting
It was
as an
fun for me,
actor to
definitely.
be able to have that range.
Yeah, and we made it smaller. It was actually bigger to begin with. He had done more before, but it was a lot for the audience to take in. So we sort of just honed it a little bit.
I mean, your characters are.
We have to make this the last question, guys. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. But your characters are meeting all these new people, these new mutants, and everything like that. Are there any like favorite interactions that are coming up that you can tease, like some characters that you?
I have some stuff with Polaris coming up. But you have stuff.
Yeah, I mean, episode 2, I get to spend a lot of time with Eclipse, and actually some of my favorite
She's amazing in that.
scenes early on are just they get to have some real conversations, and there are scenes in that show where I think they both say things that change each other's point of view about the whole situation. I just tend to gravitate towards those kind of scenes. I like interacting with the mutants, and I like that every character on the show really has some different perspective of the situation. People are coming from it from fear, people are coming from it from like being in charge, and the humans and the kids just learning it all. So there's really it would be great to be able to have like a one-on-one sit down with every character and get to see how they talk, and hopefully as the season goes on we'll get to have more time with them.
You know, we're working on episode 8 right now, and it's really my first interaction with one of the characters, which is really nice, and somebody I like very much on the show anyway, but it takes time for that stuff to develop. You know, there's some. I have an interaction in episode 3 with this little character that really makes him question almost everything he's ever done, and at this point all he's trying to do is get back to his family, you know, and he doesn't change just because this thing happens. He doesn't change on a dime. He doesn't make a paradigm shift from who he was 3 weeks ago. he's going to have to work out the mistakes he's made or the choices he's made. He's dealing with the now, but there are things that are going to happen that are going to make him question his whole life, and it's lovely to see those obstacles as they come, because we only see them week on week as well. You know, we haven't seen episode 9, and we're shooting episode 8, but we haven't seen episode 9. We don't know what we do, so we're learning about it. Watch out! I'm going to read it now. But yeah, so you know, it's. I think it's a really great framework for an amazing story about two humans really interacting with the superpower.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.